Hello, my answer seekers, and welcome to part 1 of Manifestation 101. I'd call it that way now. I just had a very wonderful experience filming the How I Manifested My Soulmate, so you can do it too video, and I love talking about this. I literally went into rambling mode for the last 10 minutes, I would say, but it was so much fun and I love it so much. So yeah, and before that I wrote down some notes in the Plot Your Life by Valithira manifestation journal, which I designed myself, because you know me, if I don't write down notes, I'm just gonna ramble and ramble. So I wrote down the notes for the last video, which I uploaded. I'm gonna link it somewhere on here, so you can watch it after this video. But I realized that a part of what I wanted to cover in the last video was somehow more fitting for a new video. So it's gonna be this one. I'm going to talk about my favorite methods to manifest literally everything. I do use inspired and aligned actions depending on what kind of stuff I want to manifest, but mostly it's me reprogramming my subconscious mind, and that's the first thing we're gonna talk about. But first of all, since I didn't get to cover it in the last video, I want to talk about the spiritual realm. So there are different dimensions, right? You know, like 2D animations, for example, on the TV or on Netflix, wherever, right? This is 2D. We all, you and me, we all live in a 3D, which is the 3-dimensional world. So what it contains is everything you can touch, everything 3-dimensional. My body, your body, the microphone, the camera I'm recording this with right now, the painting in the background, it has a frame. It's all 3-dimensional. I can touch all of that. So this is the 3-dimensional world. This is what we think we experience everything in. But this is just the world that we can touch. This is where we can feel things on a physical level. But everything we cannot touch, every single thought that you think, every single emotion and feeling you feel, even though you might feel it in your body, happens in the 5D. And the 5D is the spiritual realm, and that's what we're going to talk about. Because in every single manifestation method, in every single manifestation video or whatever that you will ever see, people talk about the 5D even though they don't say it. Because every single time you think about something, or you want to manifest something true-heartedly, right? It creates some sort of information. And that information, as in a thought, is a frequency, because everything on this earth, everything in this entire universe has a frequency. And it's a teeny tiny frequency, but it's measurable. So you can measure that frequency, right? So, for example, because we just covered it in the last video, if you want to attract love, you gotta have the frequency of love in your body, because that attracts the love to you. How we do it is, I also covered that in the last video, so this is a lot more in-depth if you want to get more into that. But how we do that basically is you have to embody your manifestations, and you can do that, for example, with aligned actions or with inspired actions. Just like I wanted to okay, I'm just gonna talk about this. My entire life I had A cups. You know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I wanted to grow it a size bigger. So I manifested that. And I found exactly one exercise that I did as an aligned action. I did that every single day. I increased the weight because I love weightlifting. I do that almost every single day still, simply because I love it. It became part of my personality and part of my highest self, so I still do it. I didn't have to do it. And I not only grew to size B or C, but at this point I'm reaching D. Because I like it. That's my beauty standard. That's what I decided my body to look like. So my body looks like that. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. I decided in the 5D, in my mind, that this is how my body looks like, and my body grew that way. It's simple as that. So, now that we clarified what the 3D and the 5D is, and that everything has a frequency that is measurable, science is talking about that. All I'm talking about right now, we might have different names for it. For example, the spiritual realm. But science is talking about this too. Just research quantum science if you haven't done that yet. They talk about how to manifest things into your reality. They literally explain the same thing that I'm explaining right now. So, why did I talk about frequency and the 3D and 5D right now? The first and the main manifestation method that I use to manifest everything in my life, and I still use it because it's fantastic. It's almost overwhelmingly good how precise it works for me, is EFT tapping mixed with affirmations. So what it does, if you don't know what it is, affirmations are positive formulated sentences. There's also a thing that's called affirmations, which is basically the same thing. It's positively formulated questions. So as an affirmation, you might have the sentence, I am beautiful. And you keep repeating that. And since we all know everything is frequency, you might know the frequency of your voice. You can even feel it if you put your hand in front of your mouth and you speak. You can feel the frequency of your words. So since frequency attracts frequency, you get where I'm getting here right now? We speak into our existence what we saturate our mind with, because your subconscious beliefs actively decide how you make decisions. So if you're, just as an example, if one of your subconscious beliefs is that you're not worthy of receiving anything good in life because, I don't know, someone taught you that when you were younger, so you kept that belief in your subconscious mind, you will never accept anything that's good for you, or if you get to accept it, you will always doubt if you're actually worthy of that, and you will kind of push all the good blessings away from you in your life. Meaning, you will also push your blessings away, you will also push your manifestations away, you will push your soulmate away. You get where I'm going with this. So, affirmations are so precise because you can choose them for yourself. Once you have, and that was 11:11 on the timer. I love this. Oh my god, I love this. So, once you have your vision clear of your high self, of your most aligned self, of the version of yourself you want to be, you want to become, and don't get me wrong, once you reach that version of yourself, you'll get another version, because that's how life is. We always stay on the path, but once you reach one of the saving spots, I kind of like to think about life as in video games. So sometimes throughout the level there's a safe spot, right, where the game saves automatically. So once you reach that, so once you reached being your highest version of that time, you'll see a lot far into the future, and you'll see, oh well, there's actually something more I get to achieve. There's something better I could be, something that you feel better in, because you couldn't see it before, because you're growing into a version of yourself you've never been before. So this is where we're going. Once you have that version of yourself clear that you want to be, you can actively search whether it's your mind or on the internet, there are many amazing posts on Pinterest, for example, with affirmations for your higher self, and you can just pick and choose whatever fits you best. And you can have a list which is as long as you want. I recommend starting with 5 to 10 because I figured that in the beginning it feels weird. It actually felt weird to me to say that out loud. I also love to use the mirror technique with that. I'm gonna tell you that in a couple moments. But you gotta have that list of affirmations or affirmations. For example, how did I get so beautiful? So you have I am beautiful as an affirmation, and how did I get this beautiful as an affirmation. Both of them are so powerful. You can combine them, you can mix and match them, however it fits you best, however you feel the most comfortable with, whatever just feels right to you. So you have your list of affirmations and or affirmations. For example, I'm so beautiful. How did I get this rich? How did I get this happy? I live in the most expensive and beautiful house. This is an example of how your list can look like if that's what you want in your life. So now there comes the next part, how to say those affirmations. And I already mentioned that I use EFT tapping for it, which is basically a technique where you tap with your fingers on specific spots on your body, mostly on the face, how I would describe it, to connect a feeling, a physical feeling, with the words you say. Because we also learned that in my apprenticeship, if you write things down by hand, it goes straight into your subconscious mind because it's linked to the motion. Some people love to channel, for example, energy reading or messages, like channeled messages, by scribbling down on a page because they receive the messages easier. It's the same thing. So what you want to do is either use, for example, the EFT tapping, or you can also start off by just saying the affirmations and just repeat them. And by doing this, you saturate your mind and your subconscious mind as much as possible with those new beliefs. So you reprogram your system, because your brain, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind works basically like a computer program. So you get to reprogram that to work in your favor. You can tell it literally, hey, I'm the most amazing, perfect girl in the world. Everyone wants to be with me. Everyone wants to provide for me. And I just live my best life. You can reprogram your mind to find those opportunities for you, because your subconscious mind is like a seeking program, which is seeking for evidence of the truth that your mind is telling you. So if you believe you're the best version of yourself and you are amazing, you're doing so good, you feel happy all the time, your brain has to think that it's right all the time, so it's gonna search for evidence in your life. That's how it works. Matter of fact is, your brain has to be right all the time. Your brain is constantly searching for evidence in your life that it is right in the way it's believing and it's thinking. So you want to saturate your mind. And what I meant with the mirror method, first of all, once you say your affirmations, whether you use the EFT tapping or not, make sure to, first of all, do it frequently, do it to specific times, and if you get the chance to do it as soon as you wake up or right before you go to bed, this is the state where your subconscious mind is the most open for new information. So you want to do it right after you got up, or right before you get out of bed even, and right before you go to sleep. That's what I did, right? Come into the mirror method, especially when it comes to the way you look. If you want to change anything about your body or the way you feel in it or the way you look in general, you gotta stand in front of a mirror, you gotta speak to yourself, look into your eyes, look at the part of your body you want to change or transform, and just say your affirmations as if they were already true. A big part of affirmations is that you write them in present tense, so like I am beautiful, not I want to be beautiful. No, you are. You are. So, simple as that. That's the mirror method. You just look at yourself and you say your affirmations until you see evidence of how your body changed. And again, it's not a matter of time. I need to cover this in a different video again. It's not a matter of time, how long it takes for the three-dimensional world to show you evidence of that. It's a matter of how quickly your nervous system or your subconscious mind, well, both, responds to your new beliefs. So it's simply you, how quickly you adapt to your new belief system. That's all it is. So the second method I love, I use this every single time for everything that I manifest, is scripting. Well, it also comes because I'm an author, I publish books, I write romantasy novels. As I already mentioned, I published a journal because I love to write so much, and I love to manifest by writing. So yeah, scripting is also one of the most simple methods. It's literally writing everything down as if you already had it or as if you already have it. In the first place, all of this, also the affirmations, might feel like lying to yourself in some way, because as soon as you start doing that right in the beginning, especially if you're still like a beginner in manifestation, which there's nothing bad about it, everyone's starting somewhere. I tried so many manifestation methods over the years, and some of them worked perfectly fine for me, some of them did not. Everyone is on their way to just figuring out what works best for them. So do not pressure yourself, okay? So scripting is a very simple method. You just write down whatever it is that you want as if you already had it. It's like you want to buy a specific pair of shoes. You're gonna write down, I love having these shoes. I love to be able to buy those shoes as often as I want and whenever I want. And then you get more into detail. I love how they look like, how I bought it, and kind of write almost like a scene. Again, connect an emotion to it. It's like, what do you want? How does it look like? And then how does it make you feel, right? So this how does it make you feel connects to your subconscious mind because you can feel it. It's like, I feel so luxurious when I wear these shoes. Whenever I go out, everyone's asking me about the shoes and they think they're so cool. And I feel so good wearing them. I feel like my best self. I feel so happy. And whenever I look into the mirror, I'm like, oh, I love these shoes. You know, like all of that, whatever it is. The shoes are just an example. But I actually did it with shoes. Eventually I bought the shoes I wanted to buy. And I said to the person I bought them with, I literally said, I'm gonna say how much I love these shoes every single day to keep that spark alive, because I love these shoes and I want to value them. And they were honestly quite expensive at that time for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna value them as much as possible because I'm grateful for them. And guess what? Usually when you buy things, it's kind of that consumerism, right? You buy something, maybe even something expensive, and you had to save some money for it, or you had to work for it or manifest it or whatever, and you get it and it kind of loses its spark over time because it's not new anymore, it's not fancy enough anymore. But because I decided that I love these shoes every single day, I genuinely, whenever I wore them, I said, I love these shoes. And it made me so excited to go out and just to wear these shoes. I went outside of the house so much more. I went into nature so much more just because I wanted to wear the shoes again. So that was a nice side effect of that manifestation. But anyway, if you want to put it into past tense, which I do sometimes, occasionally I do it, not every single time, but sometimes, especially when it's something big that I can't even imagine having, I write it down in past tense. And for example, I manifested to travel abroad. About, when did I start manifesting that? I had the idea 3 years ago, and I traveled there 3 months ago now. I had to calculate. And I started manifesting that actively about 1 year ago. Until I put everything into place and until I felt really right, really ready to go there, it took me quite some time, like readjusting to that new challenge, because it was a solo travel. I met my boyfriend for the first time in real life. There was just so much going on where I was like, I'm not sure if I'm actually ready for it. I'm kind of scared, you know? So my subconscious mind had to adapt to it, had to readjust it. I had everything else that I needed to leave at every single point of that manifestation journey, but I couldn't, because my subconscious mind still reacted in ways that blocked me from doing that. So I used the affirmations every single day, every single night, every single morning to reprogram my subconscious mind. And additionally to that, I wrote multiple letters to myself, which is also a very nice method. It's a kind of a side method of the scripting manifestation method. I wrote letters to myself as if I told myself what I just experienced. And I was like, Dear Elle, I just traveled to this and this city, and it was so cool. It was so beautiful. I took so many pictures. I talked about experiences I wanted to have, and I talked about the flight and the people I met, and again, the feelings I felt when I was there. But the point is, at the moment when I wrote that letter, I wasn't there. I wasn't there yet. I was so far away from getting there. Not just when it comes to time, but more so when it comes to my subconscious mind actually being ready to travel abroad on my own. I wasn't ready at all. But I did it anyway, because at one point I was like, yeah, it's enough. It's enough. I just decided to be ready now. And then I was ready, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly, but I decided, because I believe at some point we just have to decide to go for it, because nobody else would do it. I mean, the universe might push you to the point where you have to make a decision, but you still have to decide what you want. And if you want to have your manifestation, you actually gotta go there, right? So, and a third method, which I also use frequently because I love it so much, and it's so simple and easy and so few people only knew about it, is the whispering method. The whispering method, again, is all about frequency. So, our words have a frequency, right? So, everything we say also creates a frequency that adds up to the frequency we already have. If your body is vibrating at the frequency of love, but you're constantly surrounded by negative people, you cannot hold that love in your body, because the frequency of them and their negative talk, or their trash talk, or their gossip, or whatever, this is going to pull your frequency down. So that's also why it's very, very, very important in the manifestation journey to only surround yourself with people who speak the same way that you like to speak, to even dress the same way you like to dress, to just be in that open-minded, open-hearted frequency that you're at, for example, right? Whatever you want to attract, you gotta surround yourself with. Simple as that. So, the whispering method is simple as that. I usually do that right after the affirmations before I go to bed, because it's the easiest to visualize. I kind of link it with visualization when it's dark, because there's nothing else that's distracting me from the visualization. There's nothing of my reality, of my three-dimensional reality, that I look at right now during that. And that's why I like to do it in the dark. And so the whispering method is what it says it is. You whisper. You can also say it out loud, but I like whispering because it has some sort of mystical vibe to it that I really like. So you whisper everything that you want to have into reality. But now there comes the clue. It's very different to affirmations or scripting because you don't say what you want, you don't describe it, but it works, for example, with attracting a soulmate very, very, very well, complementary to the method which I, for example, use. I also use the whispering method to attract a soulmate. It's kind of like having a chat with a person, but that person isn't in the same room as you. You could also say it's some sort of telepathy, and I still believe that that's possible because I've experienced that so many times with people that I would, for example, think of calling a person and the next second my phone rang. Or just about a month ago I called my aunt because I thought about her the entire day, and those thoughts came out of nowhere. I was just doing my own stuff and she was a lot of miles away from me, and there was nothing really that I would have to think about regarding her in that moment, but I called her. And the second I called her, she told me that she was thinking about me the entire day. And then I called her and I was like, yeah, I know. So if you have that too, if you experience that too with certain people in your life and they just pop into your mind, maybe that's actually them thinking about you, or them wanting to reach out to you, or them wanting you to reach out to them, but they just don't do it for some reason. So again, it's your decision whether you want to call them or not, or reach out to them or not. But again, the whispering method works so well because, for example, your soulmate is connected to you. The second you want to bring him or her, that person, into your three-dimensional reality, you have a connection in the 5D already because you opened up for receiving that love connection. So you can whisper through that connection. You can feel it. That method, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it takes a little bit of work to find that connection because you have to be able to feel it. So what I learned throughout the years, because I studied manifestation, not just the methods, but in general how it works, because I didn't like the woo-woo aspect of it. And when I started with manifestation, it wasn't a thing to actually explain how it works. It was just a thing of saying everything's energy, and that was it. And at that point, I wasn't far enough into that journey of actually realizing and understanding, like fully understanding what that means. I was like, okay, everything's energy. Cool, thanks. that was my beginning in that. So everyone's starting somewhere. But yeah, so throughout the years, especially my childhood and youth, I learned a lot about my intuition, how to tap into that. And through guided meditations and then also self-meditation, I learned to get onto solely energy level. So I just feel energy in that moment. So I know that's something you can learn, but that's something not everyone can naturally do. Because I have a tendency to be able to do that naturally. I just needed to learn it to do it consciously. But I know some people have to learn that right from the beginning, you know, like a skill you can learn. So, as I said, I believe everyone is technically able to do it, but some people have the ability, like naturally the ability to do it, and some people have to learn it like a skill. What I want to say with that is finding that connection to a certain person can be hard, but you don't need to find the connection. It's, for example, it's easier if you already know that person in real life, so you can think of that person, you can visualize talking to that person while you whisper, for example, a conversation. Take your best friend, right? Visualize them as an example, visualize them, and then talk to them about whatever talk you want to have with them. You can also use that chat with your best friend in your visualization and whispering to manifest your soulmate, because you can whisper things like, I just met this and this person and they're exactly the way I imagined them to be. I feel so good, and all of that, and just explain it to them. And you'll see at some point, maybe not 100% that conversation, but it will happen. Again, it's all about saturating your mind. In the end, it doesn't matter what manifestation methods you use. This is just what I like to use to saturate my mind, because I like words. I also like pictures, so I also love vision boards. Like, everyone knows at this point what a vision board is, right? It's just to explain that quickly. You search for pictures that look like something you want, or that make you feel like something you want to manifest in your life. You build a collage, for example, for your home screen or your phone screen, like as a background, and you put it everywhere, you know. Like, you have it as a background on every device you have. Some people like to print it out and then cut out the pictures and actually glue it to some cardboard or whatever and hang it on the wall as a picture to look at. Or what you also can do is just search for videos of the people who live your standard you want to live, and they're talking about their experience. For example, if you want to attract a lot of money, you gotta surround yourself with people who have a lot of money, so you can open your mind to the possibility of actually having a lot of money, and you can talk to them about how they got rich. Or you can go into online courses or real life courses or classes, or just watch videos, just look at pictures on the internet, just get inspired and saturate your mind as much as possible with the manifestations you want to pull into your life. And it's kind of a balancing act. That's why I love grounding exercises so much, because you need to stay grounded in your right now life, so you don't lose like the connection to yourself, because that might happen in the process if you just focus on your manifestation. And it's also kind of tricky to not stare at the time and be like, where's my manifestation? Why didn't it come through yet? This can lead to frustration, right? So you want to have a balancing act of saturating your mind as much as possible with your manifestation, with whatever it is that you want to have, and you want to reprogram your subconscious mind to actually be able to receive it once it's there, because it already is there, it already is yours. You just need to be able to receive it, to see it. That's basically the key to it. And at the same time, keep track of your body right now, keep track of your real life right now as it happens, because this is your life, right? The moment you experience right now is your life. So in this moment, you make the decisions that lead to your future. And it's very important to stay in balance when it comes to manifestation. So that's why I always suggest breathing exercises or meditations or grounding exercises. This can also be just you walking around in the garden and just grounding yourself in that way, just feeling your feet on the floor, just feeling your feet on the grass or the moss or stones wherever you walk, right? Just to ground yourself in the reality, in the 3D, because the 3D is still a part of our life. We manifest in the 5D, but we live in the 3D, so you gotta balance it out. You gotta find a balance that works for you and your life. And that's all I have to say in this video. This was a long ramble. This was a lot of fun. I love this. So let me know in the comments what you think of all these methods. What are your favorite manifestation methods? Oh my god. Okay, that's exciting. Let me know in the comments what your favorite manifestation methods are, because I want to know. Because I want to know. I honestly want to make another part of the how to manifest literally everything into your life series, because I would love to make it a series. If you have any questions or suggestions for that series, also write a comment, let me know. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. I wish you a wonderful time. Bye!